Opponent team ban.
Hey, gods, you with me? Hello?
Yep, I am. You bet.
Sorry about that, guys. I am producing and casting, and they are at two separate desks. Welcome back to the Corsair Summer Cup, brought to you by Beyond the Summit. I'm LD. He's Gods. Gods, it's time for speed drafting, because we're well into it.
I don't even know if we get that. I think we just start listing off heroes here. Almost. We have Cuddle PL. Groan, boo, hiss. But it's I don't know. We'll have to see how these drafts round off. RoX.KiS have picked up some of their sort of signature heroes. They've got the Lifesteal, they've got the Weaver. The only thing that's missing, well, is one of their other signature heroes, the Gyrocopter, although you probably wouldn't pick all three at once.
Yeah, of course, RoX.KiS did have to make a roster change due to Solo leaving the team, the whole scandal with him, but do you know how they've been doing since the roster replacement? I took a quick look, and it seems like they've beaten a couple of lesser-known teams, but have struggled against the top ones.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing I've been seeing. They seem to still be a decent team, like one of those tier 2 Western teams, but they don't really seem to have that same pizzazz. They were never really the top tier 1 team. They did get to the grand finals of the EMS 1 LAN, but that was like one of those one-off. They were in really good form. They had a great tournament. They had the slightly easier bracket, of course, but they seem to be doing just decently lately.
I'm just watching the chat with 2-minute delay, and everybody is, of course, going nuts. Sorry about the production issues, guys, but we'll try and get them sorted out for you. Let's see if I can remove that. There we go. So, Cuddle PL for NEXT.kz. Yeah. Like you said, a little bit cheeky. RoX.KiS actually go with a Lich? Why do you think you go Lich here? What's the thought process?
I guess they just want to deny as much farm as possible from the PL tri lane, which they're assuming will be in the bottom lane. They'll probably chuck something like maybe even send Lich bottom with something like the Weaver. Could do something like an offensive tri lane, which is played very defensively, very passive with the Lich Dark Ritual, or you just deny a creep or two, help pull the wave back.
And you look at NEXT.kz overall, this is a lineup that wants to turtle. This is a lineup that wants to go ultra late game.
Yeah, this is all about that late game. You've got the great power of Mag to sort of give you those team fights and make it hard for RoX.KiS to push, because pushing into a Blink RP is never going to be fun. But the big problem with the NEXT.kz lineup for me is they only have one source of damage, which is going to be the PL, and that's a hero who's not going to be doing a lot of damage until much later on. It's like you say, a lot of turtling is going to come from them.
Yeah, we'll see if they're successful with that. And on that note, guys, welcome into the stream. It's time to introduce the teams. We've got NEXT.kz on the Dire side. They have, well, they've been up and down. It's been a topsy-turvy year for them. They came so close to securing a spot at the International 2. They didn't make it, and since then, I know they've had sponsorship issues. They've made some roster changes over, not recently, but over the past 6 months or so, and since then have really struggled to find their footing. Let's see if they can step things up here. They do have a staunch opponent in RoX.KiS who competed in this year's qualifiers. On the Dire side, we have Reeves playing the Keeper of the Light, Equal handling the Shadow Demon, Mantis, or Manta, as his name is in this game, playing the Phantom Lancer, Wadafaka on the solo mid-mag, and last but not least, it's Stallcat. He's hugging the northern tree line, and he needs to, because RoX.KiS are out for blood. Yeah,
RoX.KiS are out for blood. They've got BZZ is perfect, playing the Puck, Yol playing the Rubik, Tipo, the new player, playing that Weaver. We've got Nexus on the Lifesteal, and then finally, Lich being played by Vengscore, one of the great he's played some amazing support lately.
Yeah, puts up a pretty aggressive ward on the Dire side of the river. Wants to make sure he spots the movements of this Magnus, maybe look to control the runes, and despite that aggressive foray into the enemy jungle, it was all just to look for a first blood and get a sentry ward down. They are going to be rotating off the lane. It'll be an off-lane Lifestealer left to his own devices against a safe lane Darkseer, so both heroes should get quite a bit of levels in farm. And for NEXT.kz, running this aggressive tri-lane, are they just trying to dodge here? What's their thought process?
Yeah, it almost feels like they're maybe trying to dodge an offensive, or at least try and dodge the Lich Dark Ritual, but Lich is going to be bottom. I guess the thought process is that sure, Lich is going to deny some creeps here and there, but Shadow Demon Keeper of the Light can actually get kills. If they ever catch that Lich, he's dead.
And meanwhile, mid lane, it looks like we could have our first blood. Wadafaka taking a lot of damage. It's a haste rune for y'all. There's no salve, jams it in, and hits level 2 off the bat. A fortuitous haste rune, but a great play, and he'll head bottom directly. This could be trouble for our Shadow Demon. Oh, the haste rune going to be wearing off fairly soon. He'll deploy a sentry ward, and actually heading back towards mid.
Okay, maybe another fast kill if he can get Skewer still on cooldown for a bit longer, of course, because he used it before he died. Which is something you often forget as a solo when you respawn and TP back. You're like, oh, I have all my spells, but I feel like Skewer has a long cooldown. But it seems he's just going to try and plant this. No, he hasn't got his other Sentry. He's just going to rotate towards top. See some dual lane action top?
You know, guys, this is looking... Yeah, we'll see a rotation from the Rubik there, but this is looking horrible for our Magnus. Already, I would say with the Bottle Crow nerf, this is definitely a lane that the Puck should have the advantage. And then the Radiant have 2 Observer Wards spotting both runes. The Dire have 0 vision. They've been dewarded. Actually, I don't even know if they placed one to start off with. They'll deploy a Sentry Ward bottom, but Tipo is just simply going to run away. So he doesn't have rune control. He gave up First Blood, and he's up against the Puck, which is already a tough matchup. This is not a good start for our Magnus, and I fear for NEXT.kz that he may continue to struggle heavily.
I thought he went no Talisman, which is a really strong early game item build as far as if Mag gets behind like he does because he died, this null Talisman could really put him even further behind. So NEXT.kz need to make one of these lanes work. It looks like it's going to have to be the bottom lane, but they can't really kill or do much to Weaver because he just Sakuchi's the hell out of there. The Sentry Wards have already been used by the Dire team in the jungle, so they're not going to have any Sentry Wards in lane for the Weaver. They're
going to abandon the tri-lane. It'll just be a dual lane for now. I guess end of the day, even if you have Shadow Demon here, like you said, you're not killing him. Even if they had a Sentry Ward in the lane, the best they can do is really harass unless he overextends. There's just no lockdown to speak of. And they are getting decent farm on their PL, but you look at RoX.KiS, they are just getting more off of this Mac. Nexus 12-0, the Puck mid, as expected, after the first blood going his way, 9-8, and Wadafaka going to continue to struggle. And then the safe lane Weaver actually getting aggressive here. And I feel around level 5, he can go for a kill on this Keeper of the Light, and there's just not much PL can do to stop that.
Yeah, it'll get a bit harder later on once PL gets like level 3 because the lance spam coming out from PL will be very annoying as the Weaver. He needs to almost get something like a magic stick or a fast tranquil boots because it's going to be constant harass. But for the most part, it's going pretty well, and it's a dual lane setup. We're seeing a lot more dual lanes lately just because of the way teams are sort of anticipating their opponent's lanes.
Yeah, there was definitely some mind games at play in this one. When you see NEXT.kz pick up one of the most defensive lanes in the game, Phantom Lancer, Shadow Demon, Keeper Light, and then head bottom, they are certainly up to something. And I like the fact that they rotated off this lane because they weren't going to get kills here. They're going to fall really far behind in experience if they stay there with the Lich constantly denying creeps, but I still feel a bit of concern for them. They definitely have the late game secure if they get there, just in terms of their draft, but they've got a lot of work cut out for them in order to do that. And the fact that Magnus is 10-1, just has a bottle, still trying to farm his boots, whereas you look at the Puck, no Talisman, boots, bottle, and maybe even working towards his next items now. It's going to be a tough lane for him. Well, we'll see initiation bottom. Tipo thinking about getting aggressive. Just going to clear out the creeps for the time being.
I've been corrected, well, as I can now correct you as well. Tipo is actually pronounced Tron.
Sorry, Tron. Yeah, I actually remember reading that earlier. Double damager, and it's been stolen. It's been poached by BZZ. Is perfect, and now Wadafaka on the run. He's actually giving chase. He wants to take someone down with him, but this ship is going down. He will fall. The Rubik's still alive. Stallcat now waiting for Surge cooldown. This could be a double kill for BZZ. This could be a very fast blink. There's your silence. The orb to follow. Needs one more auto attack, and he'll find it. No! What a disruption by Equal. Keeps him alive. Puck orbs forward. BZZ, he thought he had it in the bag. He does have his boots. Stallcat surges again. There's just one auto attack required, and he gets it. Chases him to the end of the earth. My goodness.
That's cruel. The Shadow Demon put so much effort into saving him, and then Puck's like, oh, I'll just keep chasing you down.
That was a godly disruption. Seriously, at the buzzer, basically, but just not enough in the end.
Not enough. Mag gets back towards the mid lane, finds a bit slightly empty lane, although Puck, it's not going to be empty for long. Puck's back once again. No room for some time now, so he's got about a minute where Puck's a bit low on mana, but this is a level 6.5 Puck against a just level 5 Magnus.
You know, I feel like he just has to harass Wadafaka down again, maybe get a little bit more regen so that he can use his full combo, and he can just go for another kill. There's not much Mag does at this point. He didn't actually buy his boots before dying. He's opted for a magic stick, which unfortunately means he will be an extremely easy kill. And gods, this is where Equal really needs a teleport scroll, but he's going to find Yol here in the jungle. In comes Stallcat, a little bit out of position. Lifestealer's going to come in. The disruption, the Soul Catcher, it's a lot of damage, but Yol with the early boots and the magic wand charges may yet be able to live. He's waiting. He's baiting. He tangos through the trees. He's still alive. One Shadow Poison charge. He'll pop the stick. It's not a whole lot of regen. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like there's some action. Oh no, Lifestealer, 10-second cooldown, the zap from long range. Picks them up, and they're not done yet. They'll find Stallcat as well. This is turning into a good old-fashioned beatdown in a hurry.
Oh yeah, the fast phase boot just doing so much work at the top lane. It's working out perfectly. Lich needs to be a bit careful bottom lane. He's going to get... Oh, just dodges the clip from that.
Meanwhile, Coil at the top rune, and BZZ, will he steal this haste rune? What the fuck, I could have picked it up, but he actually just ran, and now he's going to pay. BZZ a bit slow on the trigger. I think he just assumed that he was going to get the rune, and now he'll find another kill, and he phase shift to dodge any tower damage. Oh boy, this is painful.
Yeah, it's like you said, RoX.KiS have still been looking very solid and consistent against the slightly lower tier Western teams. Teams like NEXT.kz, who they should be beating, they are beating. And they're showing just really solid Dota right now in all three lanes. It's not just an individual performance. BZZ's playing great, but so's the rest of the team.
And he's going to rotate bottom. He doesn't actually have that much mana, no rune up for him, but he just feels confident if he finds this Keeper of the Light, he can go for a kill. The Courier's under the tree line. He won't be able to spot that out. In goes Weaver. He's isolated Mantis as well as Reeves. There's your silence. Easy pickings, and it's really a feast at this point. Magnus is teleported in. He'll rotate, but he's too late and unable to do anything there. And RoX.KiS in the end will just back off. Sorry, he didn't TP. He actually walked in, but... all the same.
That's so much time wasted for a Magnus as well to come all the way towards bottom lane. He'll then go back towards mid lane, but he's just level 6. He needs the maxed out Shockwave. He wants more points in Skewer. He wants to farm for towards his Blink Dagger, or even just his Arcane Boot. So he's just continually not being very efficient with his time. If he gets a puck kill, it's worth it, but when you don't, it just suddenly puts you in an even worse position than you're already in.
You know, it's funny. As hard as this puck is dominating the lane, only 25 CS, and it's not that BZZ is missing too many last hits. It's just he's barely been in the lane. He's been chasing kill stops. He ran all the way bottom to pick one up. And it has slowed down his item progression a tiny bit, I suppose. Still, when you're farming heroes, that's definitely better than farming creeps. He's actually going in bottom. Or rather, Tron is. Not going to commit to this just yet, though.
And even the supports on RoX.KiS doing well. Rubik gets himself fast Arcane Boots, and also just stole himself Shockwave, which is a great spell to steal because it's so spammable, and it costs very little mana. It's one of those nukes which, for Magnus, he obviously has a low mana pool. It doesn't seem that cost efficient, but put on a hero like Rubik, and it suddenly becomes so strong. This
slow start, I feel, also could have far-reaching consequences. NEXT.kz, as mentioned, if they get there, their lineup will definitely beat RoX.KiS's late game, at least in theory. But they now trail by nearly 4,000 gold, 5,000 or 4,500 experience, and Rubik having a good start against a Magnus who isn't mean, stealing RP is going to be basically child's play, especially if he can farm a Blink Dagger or a Force Staff, and at this rate, I imagine he might. Bottom lane will have some action here. Mantis caught up, lifted, and thrown back in, and by himself, the Rubik is going to bring him down. Throws out 3 nukes, and then on the backside, it's Tron chasing down the Keeper of the Light. Meanwhile, mid lane will have a Coil. BZZ's gone in. He's got no phase shift. Whatafaka not even bothering with an RP. Now he'll drop it, but I fear it's too late. In comes Stallcat. He can orb away. He's got the stick charges. I think he's going to live. Never mind that. Does fall to the nuke. That's an important streak to end, but it comes at the cost of yet another support. It's a bloodbath. 10-2. RoX.KiS really running away with this one.
Yeah, very aggressive early start here. Yo, once again, double, triple nukes coming at you. Throws a lance, steals the Shockwave user, and throws a Fade Bolt at you. His damage output is just scary when you look at that. He doesn't really have the mana to sustain it, but he's putting on a lot of pressure.
He is a one-man army. My goodness, this roaming support Rubik. I wish I could play Rubik like this. This is pretty fun to watch.
He's doing a fantastic job here. Stallcat right back into the jungle, knows he needs to get up as fast a mech as possible, but to me the big problem for NEXT.kz is this one plan of theirs, get to the late game, have PL carry you, isn't really looking too good because PL isn't even CSing that well.
Yeah, you look at that Phantom Lancer, he has 36 CS. It's not horrible, but then you have to consider the offlane Lifestealer mostly left by himself, since we've seen Puck, Rubik, all of them rotating. Random dust deployed by BZZ. Pretty misspecified the hotkey there, but he's not CSing well, and Lifestealer has nearly double his CS in the offlane with very little support. That's troublesome. Well, we might see an engagement top momentarily. Our Puck's rotated in, has not rushed the Blink Dagger. He's gone for the treads. Pretty standard build, really. Oh, Bank Score caught in the river. A hasted Ion Shell Mag running away from a half HP Lich. You know you're behind when. Now Yo will pick up Whatafaka, throws him back in. The Coil deployed, catches 2. Do they really think they can kill this Mag? It looks like they do. I'm not sure they can. And in the end, well, NEXT.kz have a lot of haste right now, so they'll be able to run away.
Yeah, they want to get the hell out of there, I think. As soon as you see a Puck, full HP, full mana, you know a lot of the damage coming. This is a level 9 Puck, so it almost has that beautiful level 10 where you have the maxed out Waning Rift, the maxed out Illusionary Orb on your damage output. Gets pretty damn scary. Like you said, went for the fast treads, but this just allows him to put out more damage early on the blink. Blows up Magnus.
My goodness, y'all didn't even have time to use the shockwave there. There's another 300 damage available on top of that.
Couldn't even use his magic wand. He's sitting there with 7 charges and it's just like, well, instantly dead.
Painful. And you look at Tron bottom lane, that Weaver having some pretty good farm of his own. This dual core lineup is so hard to kill. How do you kill the Lifestealer? How do you kill the Weaver? Their only reliable lockdown is the RP, and Magnus is nowhere near a blink. I fear the biggest issue for NEXT.kz is not only are they behind, but I don't see their comeback mechanic. Without a blink on the mag, how are they actually going to find a kill?
I worry a lot as well. And mag, you want arcane boots first. You just don't have the mana to support blink, skewers, RP, as well as shockwaves without arcane boots. It's an essential item on mag, so he's really far away from the blink. It's not like he has 900 gold towards a blink. This is 900 gold towards an arcane boots.
Unless he just opts to skip it. It might be one of those games where you just have to chance it. Mid lane, we'll see a surge in on Wadafaka. It's a long way to dive. He gets silence under the tower. There's going to be a coil soon. He's got to commit to this. RP is there. Only catches one. This is a very, very aggressive dive. He skewers up to the high ground. He gets disrupted while doing so. It keeps him alive. And in the end, he gets zapped into submission. Now Equal will fall. Well, they got the puck. That's about it.
Magnus and Shadow Demon for it, possibly even more. Weaver's actually showing up. Tron wants to chase down Darkseer, not going to be able to do so because of the surge, but that was all. It's for a puck, which is obviously a good kill. A level 11 puck gives a lot of experience to your team, but it's just so desperate for NEXT.kz. They're not even creating much space on the other sides of the map because Lifesteal is still top, and he's really slowing down the PL's farm because Lifesteal with phase boots and armlet can pretty much win the last hit battle with a PL completely.
And he hits him, and that's why Mantis has just abandoned the lane. He's in the jungle now. He'll leave it up to that Keeper of the Light to sit way behind the tower and just clear off the creep wave. But Nexus says, I'm going to take this tower. He rages. There is, of course, a glyph, but without RP, he's not afraid of a teleport. This is very sad for NEXT.kz. They pop a glyph. They have a Keeper of the Light spamming Illuminate. Meanwhile, bottom rune, though. Yol, he's gotten a little cocky. He may pay for this with his life. He's stolen Skewer. Never mind that. Skewer's up onto the cliff, but doesn't have a teleport scroll. It could have been a Woda to play, but it looks like it's probably going to end up being his death. In comes our Lich, looking for a Chain Frost. The vacuum is there by Stallcat. Oh, not going to connect really or accomplishing anything. Just a little bit of additional damage. They disrupt the Rubik, who's already trapped on the cliff. Not sure about that, but they do bring him down. No RP. Wadafaka's in trouble. Vangscore doesn't actually have the mana for a Chain Frost. In comes the coil. Mantis running for his life. Silenced and should be brought down in a hurry. Sakuchi finishes the job. It's just a train wreck for NEXT.kz, and they're not done yet. Stallcat on the run. Tron, he'll drop the bugs. He'll give chase, and he'll follow him, I imagine, through this surge. Still diving, still diving. The bugs will be killed off. He'll barely live.
It's really funny. Even the bad fights for RoX.KiS end up being good fights. You have Rubik stuck on some cliff, surrounded by 3 heroes. You're like, oh, he's dead. There's Shockwave spam, there's Shadow Poison, and then somehow they get 2 to 3 kills out of it, RoX.KiS. They're just turning everything their way.
That was pretty clowny. The best part was the disruption. He's not going anywhere, but he disrupted him anyway. I wasn't sure about that one.
Yeah, it needed some illusion DPS or something. I don't know. They were really scared of that Lich Chain Frost, and with good reason. If they grouped up to finish off Rubik, that Chain Frost could have got 2-3 kills. Very fast.
Speaking of that Lich, Tranquil Boots, he won't even bother to disassemble him. He's just going straight for a mech. He's got Buckler, and he's got, oh, bottom lane, we'll have a huge engagement. BZZ's jumped in, he just got his Blink Dagger. He doesn't have the coil. RP only catches, well, it catches Lifestealer and Weaver, but the heroes you really can't burst down, and they simply scoot away. They can go back in with coil, and I think BZZ's saying, guys, I'm going to stick up. Here we go.
And Darkseer is out of mana. He can pop the Soul Ring to get a surge up, but without that mana, it's hard to escape.
Watch for the Chain Frost. Mag drops in a flash, and now Stallcat on the back lines. He's been isolated. There's a coil for him. Doesn't have mana for a surge. No mech either. He can pop a Soul Ring, but in doing so, ensures his own demise. 3 more. The bodies are just, the body count is quickly piling up. Mantis, yeah, he's found a bit of room to farm, but he's got 50-minute Tranquil Boots drums. That ain't going to cut it when Lifestealer's got 2,700 gold, phase boots, and armlet.
Yeah, it's just constant aggression from RoX.KiS, and they don't have to worry too much about the counter ganks because they've got such hard to kill heroes. Weaver, Lifestealer, Puck, all 3 heroes very evasive, very hard to kill, and NEXT.kz, while they've got some disables here and there, it's not really proper lockdown. There's no sort of instant stuns. Disruption's not really a stun, it's just more like a stalling spell. All they've got is an RP, and that's not even guaranteed to land when you've got stuff like Puck who can silence him, you can orb around. Even if Lifestealer gets caught in RP, he's so tanky hard to bring down. If he pops his armlet on, pops a rage off first, it's just looking really bad for NEXT.kz. Another fight goes not their way, maybe we see a GG very early on.
It's such a passive lineup, and it's not to say that it can't work for NEXT.kz.